Welcome back, Truth Seeker. November 12th, 2025, with the government reopening, brought another story forth, the latest Epstein drop. And this time, with Gravalda being sworn in, she cast the 218th vote to release the latest batch of Epstein emails. And notice the ritual, you guys. Virginia Giuffre's name came up in these emails, the one who supposedly offed herself this year, April 25th, 2025. And from that day to these emails with her name in them, which the White House addressed, was 201 days later. As I've taught about for the better part of the last decade, 201 is a very symbolic number to the Jesuit order. We recently just had the first Jesuit Pope, Pope Francis, who was the first to live in Suite 201 at the Vatican. Again, you learn Gematria. His name, Jorge Mario Bergoglio, equates to 201, as does Ignatius of Loyola, the founder of the Jesuits, as does the Jesuit order. If you look into the history of the Jesuits, they were suppressed in the time this country, the U.S., was being founded, and their order was preserved in Russia by Catherine the Great with 201 Jesuit priests. Again, you go back further from Martin Luther penning the 95 Theses to the creation of the Jesuits to counter the Reformation was 201 months, and on and on and on. It connects with Trump's ex-wife dying exactly 60 weeks into the first Jesuit nation year on the same day he said he'd run in the 60th election, and then him burying her on the 201st day of the year. It goes with Joe Biden, educated by the Jesuits just like Trump, sacrificing his son at 46, 201 days before the Pope's birthday, only to eventually be elected number 46 exactly 46 weeks after the Pope's birthday. Remember, Catholic equals 46, like there's 46 books in the Catholic Old Testament. The Jesuits are the military order of the Catholic Church. But yes, 201 days after Virginia's death, which they said she did to herself, on the Superior General's birthday, the leader of the Jesuits, you get this story. And remember Epstein, his birthday is January 20th, 20/1, what's now Inauguration Day because the Jesuits made it Inauguration Day, just like how the Jesuits moved the capital to D.C., their stronghold. But January 20th, which can be written 20/1 like 201, is also the 201st day of the U.S.'s age when you measure from July 4th. So go figure that Epstein has that birthday of all days. This character on the world stage, major distraction. Now, notice he would have turned 72 years old on Inauguration Day, right? As we know, Jesuit order equals 72, just like President Trump equals 72, just like President Biden equals 72. Another very special number to the Jesuits. And remember, this happened yesterday because of the swearing in of Adelita Grijalva, who lost her father, who was a member of Congress earlier this year, and we covered this yesterday morning. Almost no one watched the video, which is tragic. Everyone's watching all the wrong information. This stuff's getting suppressed and ignored. But remember, her father died on the 72nd day of the year, March 13th. From his death to her swearing in, exactly a span of 35 weeks. Her father died on a Thursday. The family surname is 35, like Thursday, like Catholic, like Jesuitism, like Opus Dei, like Holy See. Again, Opus Dei is the political branch of the Catholic Church, founded in the 1900s, always been involved with the political right worldwide. But yeah, her father's name equaled 72, dead on the 72nd day of the year. Again, daughter gets sworn in this perfect ritual on the leader of the Jesuits' birthday. And remember just the reopening of the government, too. We covered that last night. They'd tell you that it was 54 days that the Congress had been without gathering. 54 days. If you missed that, we read that in last night's video. Remember, the Jesuit headquarters is the Church of the Gesù, building 54 in Rome. And again, it was a 43-day government shutdown, but as they reported, 54 days. Let me see here. Where did I put it? Right here. Members returned to Washington after a 54-day recess to vote on the shutdown ending bill brokered across party lines in the Senate. Again, they did this on the Superior General's birthday. One more time. Gematria. There are 4 base ciphers of the English language. You want to know all 4 ciphers. They're incredibly important. We talk about all of these values with the Jesuits. But Jesuit order 54 when you run it forwards with numerology, 72 when you run it in reverse with numerology. Sun equals 54, as in the sun in the sky, SUN, as in the logo of the Jesuits. The sun moves 1 degree on the astrological wheel every 72 years. If you missed my work on what they're doing with Dick Cheney, the 46th vice president who died on the anniversary of number 46 being elected and who's now being buried on number 46's birthday, check that out. He's being buried 17 days later, November 20th, Joe Biden's birthday, in a cathedral that equals 153, which is the 17th triangular number. Don't forget the United States of America equals 144. Every major political assassination in U.S. history goes back to that 144 number, including what they did with Trump, the hoax in 2024, only for him to be elected 144 days after his birthday on Remember the 5th of November, the day in history the Jesuits tried to kill King James, when they drew parallels between Trump and King James back in 2016 when he had the convention in LeBron Stadium after he won on the real King James's birthday, etc., etc. But yeah, how many proofs do you need of who is running this government ritualistically by this Kabbalistic code of letters and numbers in ABC 123? Again, DC is the Jesuit Masonic city. The Jesuits and the Masons have their fingerprints all over this ritual, this 43-day shutdown that's totally symbolic to create more tension in the country, more division, more suffering, more polarization. Just like I told you in February 2016 before Super Tuesday, they were going to make Trump the candidate and make him the president because he's the perfect polarizer. By the way, again, 222 votes yesterday to reopen the government. Superior General equals 222. On his 77th birthday, when DC's on the 77th meridian in United States and secret society equals 77. Don't forget, a year to the day earlier, the supposed Lake and Hope Riley killer said he wanted no trial on the Superior General's birthday. Lake and Hope Riley equals 222, just like Superior General. And she was killed on February 22nd. And Trump said it was that event and the assassination that got him elected. Those two things. The girl whose name equals 222 was killed on 2/22. You talk about sick ritualism. Ritual sacrifice is so inherent in all of their rituals. Just like this Virginia girl, she's key to the story. Yesterday, and they have to bring it up 201 days after her death on the Superior General's birthday. And by the way, if you go watch my video on when she died, we talked about how she died 201 days before the Superior General's birthday because, again, we're always looking at how things line up with the Jesuits, who gave us the calendar, the language, and who run the show. About that 54 days, don't forget, They Live, Roddy Piper. Cable 54 is the enemy of the world. What day did Roddy Piper tweet that They Live was a documentary? He tweeted on September 27th, the anniversary of the Jesuits being recognized by the Roman Catholic Church. He didn't live that much longer. He died not that much longer. He ended up dying on July 31st. What day is that? Oh, that's the day in history that the founder of the Jesuits died, Ignatius of Loyola. I don't know why anyone would choose to ignore this information. I don't know why everybody's not screaming from the rooftops about this information. People need to unite behind this information and shut down this corruption, this murderous, tyrannical force that is the Jesuits that have subverted this nation. And don't forget, when this country was being founded, you had people pointing out, like Jefferson and Adams, that if these Jesuits come out of suppression, they just love to get in politics and control, they can subvert this nation. It happened so long ago, and nobody sees it. And hey, didn't the Jesuits make a book about this? Didn't they publish Art of War by supposedly a Sun Tzu? Isn't that credited to Father Amiot? Wasn't it published in 1772? About how it's better to win the war without even knowing the war's being fought. It's better to take over what you want to take over without anybody even noticing. Remember, the Jesuits also like the umbrella as a symbol because umbrellas can only be taken down from within. All right, Truth Seeker, we'll leave it there for now. Thank you to everyone who hits the like and the share and who helps share this work. Again, the video I did yesterday on the death of the Congresswoman's father and then her being installed by the numbers, that video had 500 views after 12 hours. A decade ago, that video would have had 10,000 views in 10 minutes. They have done a lot to make sure this work is on lockdown. Again, thank you to everyone who helps get it out. For all you guys who say you don't get notifications, got to learn the way YouTube works. If you don't check on my channel frequently, you're not going to get any notifications. You see that my regulars are always the first people in the room every time because they're the guys who watch on a regular basis. If you don't click on this channel, they're going to move it from your feed. You're going to forget about it. And what are you watching on YouTube that's more important? Let me answer that for you. Nothing. Not even close.